on Casino Royale with cheese.
I wrote down, if I had to give a blowjob, I wouldn't want to mess with Joe Pesci's tuna can. But his fat, tiny little dick and like his fupa like rubbing against the side of your face. I'm good, bro.
He definitely has like a go-to move, doesn't he?
He does. He grabs her head and like forces it down. He's, oh, yeah.
He like unzips his pants and just shoves her head on down there.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to see what the wife thinks about that. So
she's not going to like it.
She is not going to like that.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent Breed is people!
Yo, Adrian! Adrian!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
Fictional characters.
Live from our studios in Savannah, Georgia, it's Casino Royale with cheese, starring your host, a man with a very distinct smell, Shane Burns.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. This is Casino Royale with Cheese, the internet show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane, and I'm joined today by the insert Sandra Bullock joke here, something, Mike.
I love Sandra Bullock.
If they aren't going to try with this movie, then I'm not going to try to make jokes for the opening. So, yeah.
I guess we're just going to put it out there right to start the whole show off, huh?
Yeah. Sorry if you like Forces of Nature. You might want to go and turn this off. But
for those listening, have you ever even heard of the movie?
I have.
No, I didn't think so.
Personally, no. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You never heard of it before?
Hell no.
We had to do it?
No.
This is the... Okay, so just to be clear, we are talking about Forces of Nature, 1999, number one movie starring Ben Affleck and Sandra Bullock.
Right.
And Steve Zahn.
Yeah, that's it, man. By the way, this is episode 61. So there's that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd never heard of this. I probably would have lived out the rest of my days not knowing anything about this had it not been for us on this show. So
this is the biggest mystery so far to me on this show.
Yeah. Let me say also, since we started the show, we've become a bit well-traveled. We've spanned the country talking about different movies and whatnot from our various live studios.
Definitely racking up our frequent flyer money.
Yeah, we are, most definitely. I will say, I think that Savannah, Georgia is a bit of a downgrade from Vegas. This place is a slum. But yeah. How's it going, man?
Is that where we were last week? Oh, yeah, casino.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
We travel so much, Mike didn't even remember. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what town I'm in from week to week.
What's up with you, dog?
Nothing. It's just mouth mumbles. Can't get out words.
Mouth mumbles.
Just enjoying the beautiful weather that is outside right now.
Yeah, spring's here. It's nice.
Our whole neighborhood is out like doing yard maintenance.
I did mine yesterday, so.
Look at you.
What's crazy about it is, well, it wasn't of my own behest, but
I'm sure.
Right. But what's nuts about the whole thing is that our grass isn't growing yet. It's like not even green. But we have weeds that are growing on the other hand, and they're out of control. So we're stuck with that.
That's called pre-emergent.
Mm-hmm. So I was out there fucking with that shit yesterday. And, of course, whenever it's wintertime, we have a whole, like once spring hits, we have a whole backyard that's just full of dog feces. And so I'll go out there and hit those bad boys with the mower, launch them across the yard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Fertilizing your lawn.
You bet. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's pretty
by
bad.
the way.
But it's better than going out there and picking them up by hand, which is what we had to do in New York, which sucked. So.
Well, you're supposed to pick them up every day or so.
Oh, no, I just fling them with the mower once a week. Call it good. But, yeah, no, forces of nature. I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to say about this thing, dude.
I wrote down 6 things.
Oh, well, I've got you
And one of them was, this movie sucks.
Yeah. I wrote down 30 things.
Oh, my, you're really trying.
Yeah, no, I was going out of control.
All right, give me some backstory on this movie.
Yup. Oh, the backstory. What it's about or what exactly?
No, like, how many weeks was this thing number 1?
Oh,
1?
You want to punch these numbers out real quick?
Yeah, let's do your job, Shane.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
That's what we hire you for.
I thought you wanted, backstory. Is there a story to how this was made, I don't fucking know.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I know. It was like, hey, let's make a movie. Sandra Bullock's pretty hot right now. Ben Affleck's pretty big time.
Right. We still have Ben and Sandra, and they're both under contract for 6 months. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Let's go through the cast first here real quick, actually. We got Ben Affleck playing Ben Holmes. And I want to say, in my head, the reason that his character's first name also happens to be Ben is because I think that Ben Affleck was just so stupid that they went through and they kept saying his character's name, but he wouldn't respond. And so they're like, fuck it, let's just call it Ben. And so we got...
I did that once.
You did that?
Yeah. My name is Michael, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Michael was the number 1 name of newborn baby boys for 36 years in a row.
Jeez. What is it now?
It was a very common name when I was growing up. In my freshman English class, we had 9 Michaels.
Uh-huh. It's a lot.
And so that's a third of the class.
Oh shit.
And my teacher said, if you guys would like to be called something else, let me know. I'll address you as that to make it less confusing for the class,
Sure.
My middle name being Zachary. I always wanted to be Zach. Zach Morris was the coolest dude ever. So, I told the teacher that I'd like to be called Zach.
Okay.
Well, that lasted for a whole 3 days because every time she said Zach, I didn't answer.
Just stick with Mike.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
So she just called me Chandler, which is what everybody's called me my entire life.
Of course. Especially since the military. So,
Well, what's funny is growing up, Chandler wasn't a first name, but now it is.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Chandler from Friends.
That's funny. I don't have any stories like that because growing up, I knew one other kid named Shane, and that was it. It's been later in life that all these Shanes have exposed themselves, and not in the way that you're thinking. But yeah,
just dicks everywhere.
I mean, some of them might have exposed themselves, and I hope they got whatever's coming to them. But we got Sandra Bullock playing Sarah Lewis.
Love her.
Yeah. The next one I'm actually a fan of, and that's Maura Tierney plays Bridget, Ben Affleck's fiance.
Yeah.
I remember she was with Joe Rogan in that news radio program that she was on.
All right.
Yeah. And she was the ex-wife in Liar Liar, I think, I want to say. So, yeah.
She's been in a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, she just kind of pops up. I always thought she was kind of pretty, although her mouth is kind of weird, but I think that kind of adds to it.
Bullshit. She's beautiful.
No, she's a pretty girl. I'll give you that one. Steve Zahn, aforementioned. By the way, so the characters that I just mentioned, being, the Sandra Bullock and the Ben Affleck and the Maura Tierney, those are the only 3 characters that really impact the story at all. So, just going to float that. out there. Everybody else in this movie adds nothing to the plot. They could be completely excised, have nothing to do with anything. So, Yep, pretty bad. Steve Zahn plays Alan. Blythe Danner plays Virginia. Ronnie Cox, who I was actually surprised to see because I'm a big RoboCop and Total Recall fan, shows up. He plays Hadley. Michael Fairman plays Richard Holmes. Richard Schiff shows up, which is kind of cool. And the only other one that I thought of was the dude that he's talking to whenever he hops on his airplane. He actually was on a Seinfeld, or a couple of them. He plays this really lame comedian, Kenny Banya. But that's all. So that's the cast. Love it or leave it, I guess. I would suggest leaving it, but
yeah, I'm leaving it.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's see here what we've got. Movie made, budget $75 million. Out of control.
Oh.
What the fuck were you doing?
Shit.
Remember, though, Practical Magic was like that, too. Because that thing was like
Sandra
$70
Bullock.
million. Yeah. I'm thinking that she was a high-ticket item back in the day.
She was the $30 million a movie person back there.
There you go. Probably more than Ben Affleck. So,
wow.
Do you want to guess how many weeks this was number one, Mike?
1.
Nope, 2 weeks.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm amazed that many people knew that this thing even existed. Back in
This was not a movie number 1 for 2 weeks.
It was for 2 weeks, hombre. March the 19th, the weekend of March the 19th, and the weekend of March 26th. And then it dropped down in the number 5 slot after that.
Wow.
Yeah. Slow week for movies.
Wow. You people who went and watched this the first movie and then your word of mouth got a whole nother group of people to go the next week, you suck.
Right.
You guys are terrible friends.
Yeah. Yeah, they were, it was revenge for something, I'm sure. But actually I was looking at it. This movie only grossed $13 million its first week. And that was the number one.
Shit.
So they say that like ticket sales suck nowadays. They're better than that. But, just saying.
There must have been zero competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do you want to guess how much it brought in overall in the U.S., Mike?
No.
Not really. I'm good. Let's take a little shot in the dark there. Why don't you?
30 million.
No, 52,888 and some change. So 52 million. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck these people are thinking, bro. Pretty sad. You guys disappoint me.
The producers took a bath in this one.
Yeah. Well, so with the 75 million worldwide, it wound up bringing in a total of 93 million. But I doubt that broke even. That's not very good at all, sir. So, anywho, that's Forces of Nature, the box office numbers. Here's the review section. This movie fucking sucked. Mike, did you watch anything this week?
Let's hear your summary.
Okay, summary time. Baby! Forces of Nature, released March 19th, 1999, is a film you've never heard of, directed by a woman you've never heard of, starring some dude you wish you'd never heard of. After constant attempts to discourage him from marrying his fiancée by everyone he knows, Ben Holmes finds himself in an even worse predicament when his flight to his wedding in Savannah, Georgia crashes. Before the crash, however, he meets free-spirited Sarah, who instantly strikes up a conversation. Her amiability is handy in procuring a ride with a stranger, as all the flights have been canceled. Their car ride is cut short after the police apprehend their generous weed-selling stranger, claiming he has priors and no license. They then get on a train, only to find themselves on a train car heading to Chicago, resulting in Ben stripping to get money for a vehicle. All the while, during their travels, Ben finds himself attracted to Sarah's fun-loving personality and questioning his devotion to his fiancée, Bridget. Sarah has other issues to deal with, however, since she is attempting to reconcile her relationship with her son. When Sarah and Ben finally do arrive, Ben has every intention of breaking off his relationship with Bridget, but upon seeing her, realizes that he is still in love with her. The two get married, and Sandra sneaks away to find her son and move on with her life. This film was written by John Hughes back in 1987. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Oh.
Yeah. This is nothing new. And that is a short-ass summary, but I covered it all. Everything you need to know.
Except for Juanita the bull tamer almost killed Grandpa.
Has nothing to do with the story.
It's the opening scene, man.
Yeah, it's something, all right. There was that. There's dude, what was it? I even forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, the rest of the stuff, there is some superfluous story elements going around. Like there's a subplot about this ex-boyfriend that Bridget had.
Jack?
Yeah.
Jack's a real creeper is what I got.
He is, but it never goes anywhere or does anything.
They kiss.
Yeah, they do. There's a whole thing with the parents, and they don't like Ben, but it doesn't go anywhere or do anything, really. So that's pretty much it. None of these characters have anything to do. There's even this whole subplot about Steve Zahn and the bridesmaid, forget her name, but they go through and
Virginia?
Yeah, if that's what it was, I don't remember. But they even wind up staying at the same hotel as Ben and Sarah. And sure enough, like that subplot, she finds out everything that's going on and it never goes anywhere. So doesn't mean anything to anybody.
She tells her friend, I'm pretty sure.
Who, the Bridget?
Yeah.
Oh. Because all I saw him do was arguing with the parents at the end of the movie. And then, like, Ben Affleck sees Bridget and walks slowly to the rain. They're planning this wedding while it's raining and there's a hurricane.
Yeah, there's a hurricane coming.
Dude, so that's part of the deal is usually they could tell hurricanes are coming maybe a week or a week and a half ahead of time. And it was one of those deals this time where, people are leaving. I remember when all that shit went down a couple years ago in Miami. And, you couldn't buy gas, you couldn't buy food. They're certainly not going to keep a wedding going and be like, well, maybe we can do the wedding and be out of here in a couple hours whenever the hurricane hits. Doesn't happen.
That's what they were acting like in this movie.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. They were even talking about it. Like the priest or pastor was like, I don't know if what's going to get her first, the hurricane or the groom.
If there's a hurricane that close, you need to FO, dude. I would get out of there. But, I don't know.
This movie's lame for all kinds of reasons.
Really bad. What do you think was the funniest scene, Mike? The one you already mentioned?
The grandpa getting a heart attack from Juanita the bull tamer?
Yeah.
The funniest thing in this movie. The funniest thing in this movie. I don't think there's anything funny in this movie.
See, I tend to agree. This is supposed to be a romantic comedy, but did nothing for me. One of the underlying subplots in this movie was that the Ben character is like super afraid to get married, but he's not like in touch with his emotions. Let me ask you this, Mike.
Okay.
You got married on a whim, pretty much. You and Nicole been together for a minute, but it was something that came and went pretty fast. Were you super scared when you got married, or
no?
Just out of curiosity? I wasn't either.
No.
I was more scared to propose, I think, than I was to actually tie the knot. So, I don't know. I don't know. What the fuck is there to say about this? I wrote down, this is like an alternate reality, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, where Neil and Del fall in love.
You watched the... Man, this is rough. So the Ben and... What's her name in this movie?
Sarah.
Sandra's name? Sarah.
Yeah.
So you watch Ben and Sarah like kind of fall in love.
Right.
And go like accepting each other for who they are, kind of. And then he still takes off with Bridget.
Right. Fuck it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of went. Actually, I was kind of surprised by that. I thought it was kind of.
I was actually pleased with that ending, believe it or not.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Because as the movie progresses, you peel back another layer of Sarah's craziness and past and her luggage,
right?
And all that stuff that comes with it.
Yeah. Funniest part for me, I think, was the line that the mom said. She's like, all the best presidents sleep around." That was like the funniest part.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, they knew that he was with the girl.
Oh.
That's why she said that.
Oh, do they? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one dude, is it Jack? I wrote down Winter Heart with Phil Collins. It's a power move, bro. That's the move right there.
Yeah.
I wrote down the stolen wallet
That was weird.
is a tired as fuck old trope that isn't interesting.
Well, she stole his wallet, right?
No. Whenever I think she went to go, she was doing something. She went outside or some crap, and he was like, "Hey, watch my wallet," and he was like, "Okay," and he wasn't paying the fuck attention, and so like some random dude just came up and stole their shit and then dipped.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, they were at the laundromat, right?
Yeah, because he was like reading a book or something, and she went outside.
I thought she took it.
No.
Oh, silly me.
I wrote down, "This is the nicest Kmart ever." That Kmart was looking pretty good, and I don't think they looked that good in '99. Just saying.
Super lax security too.
Yeah.
They were straight chilling.
Oh yeah, they were all over the place in there. When's the last time you went into a Kmart, Mike?
Oh, it's been years. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a Kmart.
Oh really? We got one here in town. There used to be like 3 here in town. They're down to 1. And
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw one.
the only reason I went in is because this was when I was, a single, early 20s something or other dude. And so I had all this extra money to go spend on DVDs and whatever. And so sure enough, I go to Kmart because I saw there was a little sales flyer in the thing. You could get both the Kmarts for like $10, or both of the Home Alone movies for like $10. And yes, I know that there's actually 3 Home Alone movies that came out in theaters, but those other fuckers don't count. So went in there, they didn't have it. I got a rain check, never came back for it. So
Really?
yeah. Said, fuck
So
it,
did you pay for the rain check, or how's that work?
No, they basically, if they didn't have whatever it is you're looking for, they'd give you like this paper voucher. It was on like receipt paper. And it was a deal where they were, I guess they were just giving those out. But I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to mess with that again. So one of them deals. But
Good story.
yeah, not terribly. But that's the last time I went. What's funny about it, though, is because this would have been back in like 2003, 2004, and they're still selling like Discman, like portable CD players and shit, It was really dilapidated, bro. But
Yeah.
pretty sad.
I think I talked about this on here before, but in Southern California, like we grew up with Kmart's. We didn't grow
Right.
up with Walmart's.
Yeah.
So,
Kmart was a big deal
But,
back in the 80s, but it died out. So
but we didn't have Walmart. Like that wasn't an option for us.
right. Question, Mike.
Whoa, answer Shane.
Where the fuck do they what do they end up doing with their luggage? Because like halfway through this movie, they just don't have it, and nobody ever says anything about it at any point.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't really remember them having luggage.
Well, I mean, they were flying. I assume they had luggage,
They were in a plane crash, Shane.
Well, yeah, but you still get your luggage back, I assume.
I mean, if you can get the luggage.
I guess so.
Oh, you want to hear an interesting story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So you know how like all the flights were canceled after they hit that bird,
Sure.
and they met up with the stranger and get in the car with them because there's no cars left.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole and I did that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where at?
Have I not told you about this
I
story
don't
before?
think so, bro.
So we were in Syracuse, and it was crazy, crazy snow.
Right.
And we were headed to New York City for Valentine's Day weekend.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you were in New York for all this.
Yeah, I was there when you guys went to the city.
Yeah, but because of the snow, all the flights were canceled. And we were standing on a line to be told the flights were canceled. And this captain in the National Guard and an old woman were like a few people in front of us were talking about, she was like giving him her credit card and was like, just run, go get us a car. They're going to be out of cars really fast. So like, he hauled ass.
Good
and then
idea.
I told Nicole, I was like, I guess I should go with him, like behind him or whatever. Well, by the time he gets there, there's already a big long line.
Sure.
He gets the last 4-wheel drive vehicle, and Nicole and I weren't going to drive like a little 2-door, hatchback to New York City in the snow.
Good luck, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, well, shit. And he was like, hey, man, do you want to ride with us? And I was like, what? And so I just went back and told Nicole, hey, we're riding with these people. These complete strangers.
Yeah.
And when I talked to the old woman about it, she's like, yeah, you guys could just pitch in on it and it'll be completely fine. And I was like, all right, sounds good enough to me. So we get to our hotel in New York City, and I go to hand this woman money, and she was like, no, I'm not taking your money. And then she actually gives me money.
Oh, cool.
And it was like,
Well,
enjoy
that worked
your time here.
Thanks, lady. Sure. would.
Nicole also rode on an airplane with that woman to your wedding.
The same woman?
Yes.
Weird, man.
Yes.
That's pretty weird right there. That is a small world, man.
Yep.
Those people are zipping all over New York. Did that guy offer you free pot too, or?
No, he was a captain
Cool. Oh, okay. Never mind then.
in the National Guard.
Yeah, I guess he would have been smoking. Although those National Guard guys do have it hooked up, though. They can smoke, at least a couple times during a month. But
No.
I would. Shoot.
Not a good idea.
Once a month, and then, take a toke here and there. You'd be all right. But,
You get drug tested in the Guard, man.
yeah. You'd be all right. Driving through New York sucks, man. That was the longest leg of our trip, driving from New York to Oklahoma. Holy fuck, bro.
Well, you go in a different direction if you're headed to the city.
Yeah, you do. But still, New York's a big motherfucker, man.
Yeah, it's not small.
I've never driven through, Texas, but I heard it's retarded, though. So, I don't know. I heard it sucked. But I don't know.
Yeah. Is there what was their grossest part of this movie for you?
Oh, man. Let's see. For me, the grossest part, I thought I don't know if it strikes me as being super gross, but it's pretty weird, is the bathroom at the hotel where, I just imagine going in there and taking a big duke, but, everybody can see what's going on in there, I don't know. What about you, man?
Ben Affleck stripping.
Oh, yeah. I could do without that. Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know if... I've seen, his abs and stuff before, so it's not that big a
But
deal.
he didn't have them in this movie.
No. No, he really didn't. No,
This isn't Batman Ben Affleck.
No.
This is like frat boy Ben Affleck.
This is coming off of Mallrats Ben Affleck, But I did notice Sandra Bullock's panties. They look like a big old pair of granny panties.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, you could wrap a Christmas present with those things, bro. I just wrote down, I'm glad Sandra Bullock stopped making this kind of shit for the most part.
Whatever.
The difference is, so we watched the movie Bird Box, me and you both, and I wasn't too hip to it. Sounds like you might have given it a little bit more positive vibes than I did, but
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, at least with a movie like Bird Box, fucking, it's something to talk about. Whether you liked it or hated it, I would be completely on board with getting into a conversation with you about the merits of that film. Unlike this, where I just don't give a fuck. So, you know.
I feel like we've squeezed every drop out of this movie as we can already, and we haven't really even said anything.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, I did write down. Check this out. So they went to lunch whenever him and her first started traveling together. And I noticed that they're drinking out of these big fat cups that just say Pepsi down the side. And then I remember that this is a DreamWorks movie like Ants. Remember the picnic scene in Ants, and they got the big bottles of Pepsi and Mountain Dew, and look like they're just going to drink their lunch, you know? Fucking caffeine and high fructose corn syrup, you know? And so it was a deal where I was like, I wonder if DreamWorks has some kind of deal worked out with Pepsi or something. But
probably.
Yeah. Dropping the joint while you're driving, that is a party fucking foul, dude. That's
personally, I prefer my drivers not to be smoking while they're driving me.
You'll be all right.
Personal preference.
You'll be all right.
Look, I'm not anti-weed, okay?
Of course.
But I don't suggest if you're in the National Guard to smoke because you're going to get busted. And smoking and getting high and driving is not a good idea. It's just not.
No.
All right? If you're an experienced stone driver, whatever. But sitting there toking up while you're driving is not advisable.
Probably not a good idea. No, I can see your point. It's been a public service announcement from Casino Royale Cheese. So
you're welcome.
I mean,
the more you know.
Mike knows how I feel about marijuana, so
I'm pro pot.
Just kidding, Mike. I do not care. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I did think of some topics for us to discuss, though, this week in the wake of this horrible movie, Sucking Ass.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard of Polybius, Mike?
No.
Supposedly, well, it's an actual historical figure from Greece, but
sounds like a guy from Greece.
Yeah, it does. It does. More so to our point, though. It has more to do with pop culture than that. Is that apparently, so check this out. This is a deal where back in the 80s, early 80s, people claimed there was some city in Oregon where they would get like new games and stuff like that and test them out on the market, whatnot. So this arcade was getting new games in all the time that people had never seen before. And there was one that was just a black cabinet with no real decoration on it. And it just says Polybius on the top. And people are like, what the fuck is that? And they actually describe it in these various blogs and things of that nature. And there's apparently people that have claimed that they've seen it. I don't know the truth behind it. It's one of those kind of like urban legends from the internet sort of thing. But yeah, these guys claim, though, that apparently people were playing this game. There was a person that actually died while they were playing it. One person went into epileptic seizures while they were playing it. And there were other people that reportedly had other issues, like their personalities weren't the same, or they couldn't sleep at night, or something like that.
Okay.
And so the whole idea is apparently, according to these people claim that they witnessed there would be like these government agents that would come in and like plug in some device they didn't recognize and collect information off of it. And then after a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, a month, the thing was gone. And that's all that anybody really knows. But they claim that this is all factual, of course. And I was actually watching like this big old documentary. I don't know about a documentary, but a video that this guy put together on YouTube where he's trying to trace the origins of the story, which I found interesting. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I'm going to say bullshit.
Sounds like bullshit, but interesting bullshit. So
I guess.
Yeah. Whatever.
If you believe in conspiracies.
Doesn't give us much to talk about.
No.
But I thought of another one, though.
Oh. Hopefully this is as good as your Home Alone movie story.
Yeah.
Or your Polybius story.
Well, this one I find, I don't know. So people that come out on the internet claiming to be from the future, those people are a dime a dozen, you know.
They are?
pretty common. There's a guy by the name of John Teeter who claimed to be from, I think, like the 2080s or something like that. And
Wow.
like he didn't have a social security number, or that he claimed he didn't anyway, but like his fingerprints weren't registered on any databases anywhere or anything like that. So kind of interesting.
Ew.
But
all I know is if I'm from the year 2080
yeah,
and I'm in 2019, I'm a billionaire, son.
Oh yeah. Because that means I already went back to like the 1900s and bought a bunch of shit, you know. So.
Oh no, but I'm just saying, like, I know what the right decisions to make are because I've already seen it in writing.
Of course, but my wife asked what I would do if I asked her a question the other day whether I would rather have like $70 million or a time machine, and she was like, "Well, what would you do?" And I was like, "The time machine, duh." I'm gonna go buy Apple stock in the 80s. You can get it for like pennies. It's worth some shit.
Amazon stock.
Yeah. Fucking crazy, bro.
Tesla stock.
Mm-hmm. You bet. You'll be a baller overnight. You'll have the feds on your ass, though, investigating you. But
IBM stock.
Yep. That's it. Microsoft. Any of those, really.
No, so if you had $70 million or a time machine, you would choose a time machine to go back and make money.
Yes. But I'd have way more than $70 million.
Well, I would have the time just because I'd want to go see some shit.
Oh, no. Mine's purely monetary, bro.
I mean, I'm sure I would do that along the lines.
Sure.
Like, my favorite thing in any of the Back to the Future movies is when he buys a sports almanac.
Right.
That would definitely be a go-to for me.
Yeah. Just literally, he says in that movie, he's like, make a couple bucks. Like, even at that, if I get hard up, you know what? I'm just going to jump back to a few years, buy some shit, you know? But, no, what I found interesting, there's a fellow that showed up recently, and he goes by the name of Noah with no last name. He claims that he is from the year 2030. And what's
not far from now?
It's not. It's not. He claims that aliens made contact with us in the year 2028.
Uh-oh.
And he said that that is also the year that time travel was discovered.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, the story gets a little bit crazier from here because he actually was going into specifics about a lot of stuff. And a lot of these guys that claim to be from the future, they don't pick such a small time frame, okay? A lot of these guys will pick, you know, like 120 years in the future, and then they're like, oh, yeah, by the time the year, 2100, then, we'll have flying cars and whatever. And I just call bullshit. I'm like, you're just picking a date that's so far off that we can't call you out. But
well, I'll be dead by the time that comes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this fellow Noah, however, came up with the idea. He actually, because he made a video back in January, he said that the Midwest was going to experience one of its worst ever snowstorms in the months from February to March of 2019. And I was like, okay, I'm listening. What else you got?
You have my attention.
Right. Yes. And apparently this fella said that by May that we would figure out. And so this is what to keep in mind, okay? And I might even put a link in there whenever I upload this video to the video where he makes all these grandiose predictions, just because I don't want to screw any of it up. But he said by May of 2019, we would have robotic eyes, that you could replace somebody who has like vision impairment. They could put in a robotic eye. So I guess we have a few months to see if that plays out. If they start announcing these robotic eyes, then I'm pretty much sold that this guy probably is from the future. You can't guess that shit, dude.
And what's super exciting is you only have 9 years to wait till you can start doing your own time travel.
Yeah. So I'll be a millionaire in, 9 years. Super exciting stuff. Apparently what he claimed was that the government actually came up with the time travel stuff, and only government officials are allowed to time travel. He said, though, that there are these like wrist implants, which the religious folks would probably not like that too much, but these wrist implants, apparently they monitor all of your vital functions. And he said that they've saved a lot of lives, because whenever you go to the doctor, he can just like scan that thing and it'll tell you like your heart rate, whatever's going on, your oxygen, capacity and shit. So that's kind of
Well,
cool.
I totally believe that, but all you have to do is like look at my wrist, and you
Yeah.
can see why I believe it.
There you go. Mike's got an Apple Watch for all of you that can't see us. So
Yeah,
it's tracking his
got
heart
my
right
heart
now.
rate on here, and
How fast does that thing get going whenever like Ferris stressing you guys the fuck out?
I don't
Is
know.
it going like crazy? Like the battery is draining on it or what? You know?
No, it just if you look at it for me, it's super low in the hours I'm asleep, and it's around 80 when I'm awake.
Oh, better than my 160. So, just kidding.
Holy shit!
I'm just kidding. I think mine's like 86. So, so there's that. I found that interesting. He said that we
I'm
discovered.
definitely gonna Google this Noah dude.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to it later, and I'm gonna put that link with to his YouTube video whenever I upload this. I'll put it in the description too. But anywho, so that I found interesting, and not much else, man.
Cool.
I guess I don't know. It's better than this movie. So
I watched some other movies this week.
hey, why don't you talk about those?
The first one I watched this week was Leaving Neverland.
Tell me about it.
Uh,
Heard it's fucked up, bro.
Yep. Because I'm 40, so I grew
course.
up on Michael.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
I mean, like, I was just like every kid my age, though. I was trying to moonwalk and buying red leather jackets. And,
One glove, all that shit.
yeah, thought it was so cool.
Right.
So to see that some of this stuff, like, it's two parts, and the first part is the stuff I didn't even really hear about.
Okay.
But to hear these guys tell their stories, and they're such similar stories, and it makes me sad. I want to hope it's not true, but I kind of feel like it is.
Yeah.
Then on a more positive note, I watched Aquaman.
Ooh, what'd you think of that movie?
I liked it.
See, I started that one, and I actually was getting into it, but then I fell asleep. And this is a while back, so yeah.
I really liked it. I am on board with the Jason Momoa man crush.
Okay.
Uh,
It's good.
And he's just I think everybody in the movie does great. What's that beautiful woman's name?
Nicole
Johnny
Kidman?
No. Johnny Depp's ex, Amber Heard.
Oh, yeah. There's been some shit with them recently.
There has?
Yeah, because apparently she claimed that he like beat the shit out of her or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
That was a
now
while
he's
ago.
coming back saying like, hey, that's all bullshit. You ruined my reputation and cost me a lot of movie roles. So he's like suing her now for like $50 million or some shit. Yeah.
Oh, there's pictures of her with like black eyes and things.
Oh, well, I don't know what kind of defense he has. Maybe hire Johnny Cochran.
After she left Johnny Depp, she dated Elon Musk for a while.
Oh, really? They got high together. You know that happened. So
Oh, yeah.
goofy, man.
I also watched Enter the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, what did you think about that one?
Maybe one of the best animated films I've ever watched.
It was my favorite comic book movie from last year. It was really fucking good, man.
It was
Really good.
outstanding.
Yeah. And I
It
was
was so
going to write
good.
it off because it's a cartoon. Don't do that.
No,
But
it was really, really good. And it was so good that my wife, my 5-year-old, and myself, who all have very different tastes in movies, all enjoyed it.
oh, yeah. It's good. And I actually really love the animation style on it. I thought it looked great.
The comic book style.
Because it's almost like they filmed it in like a lower frame rate. But it's amazingly detailed at the same time, though. So, I don't know. Just the way they did it was awesome, I thought.
It looks like you're like flipping through a comic book.
Yeah, it kind of
And
does.
but it's pretty good, man. There's even parts where like the main guy, he's a Latin kid. What's his name?
Miles Morales? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
Miles. Like there's even times where like he's thinking in his like he's thinking out loud almost, but instead of him saying the words, like they put him up in like the word boxes.
Right. Yeah, anytime he's
pretty
thinking to himself, it'll pop up in the little dialogue box. I do like how the different animation styles change, though. Like, there's a little anime girl that has the Spider-Man robot, whatever the fuck that was. I've never read anything about that.
Apparently, every one of these characters did have their own like spin-off.
Yeah, yeah. I like how like her background animation and stuff was very like Dragon Ball Z-esque, whenever like she was being showcased. And like Spider-Ham, he like his animation style was almost to that like Looney Tunes, so each one kind of had their own little caveats. It was pretty neat. I liked it a
But
lot.
before Spider-Ham, I saw Spider-Ham. I had no idea the Simpsons ripped that off.
Oh yeah, no, it's the thing, man. There really is a spider pig in the Spider-Verse, so.
But when Homer's like walking, that's one of my favorite scenes of all time. Like Homer's walking that pig on the ceiling.
Right.
Spider pig,
Yeah.
Spider pig, doing whatever a spider pig can.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they ripped it off. That was an actual like Marvel thing.
Yep, it is. It is. And I'm super excited because they're talking about now doing a movie that is Spider-Man 2099. So it takes place, in the year 2099, obviously. So 80 years from now. But it's...
No one knows all about it.
Yeah, it's in the future, and there's like a different Spider-Man who he was exposed, whatever, and he works for this company that's just this crazy over-the-top deal, and the futuristic setting's super cool in it, though, so definitely worth checking out. But
I also watched, I think it's called Triple Theater.
I don't know nothing about that.
It's a Ben Affleck vehicle on Netflix.
More Affleck.
Basically, yeah, it's basically about a team of like special forces soldiers from the United States Army that are all out now, and they have an opportunity to make some moolah.
I see. That's cool.
I won't tell you anything else.
Yeah. I may or may not watch it. I don't know.
It just came out on Netflix, so there's lots of people who haven't seen it, I'm sure.
Yeah. We started watching this deal, The Abduction of Madeline McCann or some shit like that.
It came up on my suggestions.
Yeah, we watched the first episode, and I'm sitting there watching it saying, man, could they possibly draw this fucking thing out anymore? Like, the whole first episode, they go over every possible inch, like every second of this possible kidnapping. And I was just like, about 45 minutes.
Is it a docuseries?
Yeah. Yeah, it's several different episodes, like a mini-series or whatever. And I guess they still haven't found the girl, so that sucks.
Is it so it's a true story?
Yeah. Yes, it is. This
Her name is what?
Madeline McCann. And I guess
Does
her...
that fuck with you?
Not really. Should spell it differently. So...
Oh.
No, it's weird though, because I guess there was this British couple that they're vacationing in Portugal with another family. Yeah, and so they're gonna go to dinner one night, and the kids are all asleep. So what they did was they picked this place to eat on the resort where they're at, that I guess was like right across from the pool from their room that they were staying in. And so every like 20-30 minutes, the parents would go and get up real quick and go check them out in the room or whatever. And so the dad goes and checks, and then the friend of theirs that they're with goes and checks, and then the mom goes and checks. She goes to look in the room, and sure enough, like, she's like, there's a lot of light coming from that room. And she realized that the door was open more so than it had been before. And she goes in there and checks. Sure enough, girl's gone. And that's as far as we made it, and we've seen a whole episode. So it's really slow, man. But it's interesting.
It's a really bad decision by the parents.
See, I'm not going to leave my kid anywhere, especially if we're in Portugal. That far away from home? No.
Well,
no.
So this is why I think is a bad idea, though. So, like, right now, Farrah is out in my neighborhood playing.
Sure.
I think I know where she's at because she told me she was going to a certain friend's house.
Maybe.
And I did look. I watched her kind of walk down there, so I think she's there.
Right.
But we're home. Like, everybody on the street knows who she is.
Right.
Like, I feel okay. But if I left her in a hotel room while me and mommy went and ate dinner, you know what she's gonna do, right?
Go look for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's eventually gonna come looking.
Right. Yeah.
and that's when her little pretty ass will get snatched up.
Well, one thing that's particularly crazy about it is, I guess, when the mom was going to walk to their room, she actually saw this guy that she couldn't see his face. He was wearing all black or whatever. And he was walking away from the general vicinity of their room, and he's like carrying like a small child. And she's like sitting back. She's like, didn't think anything of it until her daughter went missing. And then later, when the cops were interviewing her, she's like, holy fuck, I think I just saw my daughter get kidnapped, you know? It's crazy, man.
Idiot.
What an idiot. You would remember I would like to think, because she didn't get a good look at the girl, but she like saw her feet or whatever, and I would like to think that I would recognize my daughter's feet, along with the combination of the fact that I remember what pajamas she was wearing, and I'd be like, where do you think you're going, dude? You know? So,
wow.
I don't know. It's fucking nuts.
Well, I hope they find her.
Yeah. I mean, it was like 11 years ago, so ain't no telling.
Her.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's sad.
Yep. I also watched, I don't know if I watched anything else. I watched some Office and some Seinfeld.
Boring.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you studying up for your Office?
It's kind of my train of thought. Yeah, the tour night, or the trivia night, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to come watch that.
Watch me embarrass myself.
I'm going to get drunk
I don't know.
while you're doing trivia.
So this whole last year, not the whole last year, but a fair amount of it before Will was born, we were going through, I was actually in school to do heating and air. And we wound up, they have like this school-wide state competition thing, and I wound up going to that. And so in our district, the competition that we were involved in was the Quiz Bowl, and it's just random trivia shit, you know. And so we actually came in like second in the district, and we came in second place in the state, which is pretty impressive because all these schools like conglomerate together and compete. So
I mean, I don't doubt you. I don't doubt your ability to do well.
Mike's just gonna be entertained by it, but never question my knowledge of worthless information, Mike. You lose every time.
I'm gonna be your hype man.
There you go. But yeah, so there's that. I guess we can talk about what we're watching next week.
Oh yeah, might as well.
Yeah, well, we talked about how this one was number 1 for 2 weeks.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, I don't get it. And then Mike, your pick was last week with Casino, so that means that I have a pick this week. And
is this the end of our podcast?
Well, we're getting down to it, I feel like.
No,
so.
no, I'm talking about like, is this the end of our show?
This will be like the series finale.
Yeah.
Could be. We've dabbled in a lot of different franchises, Mike.
Okay.
We've watched some Star Trek. We've
Fortunately.
watched some Terminator.
Love it.
But we've never talked about James Bond before. So.
Oh, okay.
Next week, we are watching one of my favorite Bond movies of all time.
Okay.
And it is On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Whoa.
Came out in like 1969, I think. So it's
okay,
an
I'm
old
going
one.
on a limb and say I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, it was the first James Bond movie to not feature Sean Connery. And I've actually...
This is Roger...
No, this is not Roger Moore. There was a fellow that was in between. So Sean Connery did the first 5 movies, Dr. No, through You Only Live Twice. And then there was an offshoot movie that did not feature him. And then he came back to do Diamonds Are Forever before they went with Roger Moore. But this one was a one-time deal by the actor known as George Lazenby, or Lazenby, I guess.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah. I guess he was some Australian model or something. He never acted in anything, and they just kind of handed him the keys to the James Bond franchise. But this was one of the, from my understanding, one of the last James Bond books that was written by Ian Fleming before he died. So there's that. But we can go all through all the detail regarding that next time.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a good one. I'm anxious to see what you think. So,
Okay.
anyway, final thoughts, Mike. Hit me up with something.
I'm really sorry that we didn't have anything to talk about the movie People. It just is a really bad movie.
It is.
And it didn't really have anything in it.
No story.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't watch it.
And if you're curious, because we didn't really talk about it, and you're like, maybe I'll just watch it for myself. Don't do that. This thing
you
sucks.
can, but we warned you.
Yeah, it's an hour and 40 minutes, and it is a major waste of your time. Is that really how you want to spend your afternoon? Don't do that.
Nicole watched it with me, and when it was over, we just looked at each other like, what the fuck?
This is super lame. Taylor wouldn't even watch this one with me. She would not even hear me out on that. So, but yeah, this one seems like it should have been a 1998 movie. I think it would have fit right in there. So
yeah,
pretty lame, not cool. Anyway, if you are curious, or maybe you have an idea for James Bond, or maybe you have opinions on Honor Majesty's Secret Service, or anything else for that matter, you can email us at cheesymovie@yahoo.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Casino Royale with Cheese, all separate words. You can look us up on the YouTube, the Instagram, and the iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast from. And that is Casino Royale W Cheese, all one word. And I don't give a fuck about Twitter. Nobody else seems to. So that's that.
Everybody kind of does, actually. It's like the biggest social platform out there.
Have you noticed that these social platforms just get worse and worse with each iteration? So
I actually have been listening to a pretty interesting podcast.
Yeah.
With Jack, who is like the founder and CEO of Twitter.
Okay.
The person who is responsible for his what does she call it? User policies, and then there's this critic of Twitter. His name is Tim Pool.
Yeah.
And they're on the Joe Rogan podcast. They're like debating different things about it. It's pretty interesting. If you're interested in like freedom of speech and stuff, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting back to, and this is taking me back a ways, but with MySpace, you could like customize your shit or whatever, put up pictures for like your background and have music playing. Then they switched over to Facebook for whatever reason. Everybody seemed to, because MySpace is dead as shit. So
it's still out there.
I mean, it is, but there ain't nobody there. So.
A lot of bands.
Yeah. But then they switched over to Facebook where you couldn't do any of that. And then they switched over to the Twitter where now it's like you can't do any of that. And it's super fucking like obnoxious. Just the layout is. Oh, and you have a limit to however many characters you want to use. So fucking great.
240.
Yeah. Good job, society. You've really fucked us in the ass on that.
I think it's 280.
No, it was 140
for
and then they switched it. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's 280.
Yeah.
And they got Instagram.
Yeah. Is Instagram and Facebook like affiliated, like owned by?
Facebook owns Instagram now.
That's what I thought, because
yeah,
they're pretty interlinked. But
and Twitter owns Periscope.
Whatever the fuck that is.
You don't know
I've never heard of
is?
that. No, I have no idea.
Shit.
I'm old, bro.
Yeah.
You work with those high school kids, so you're kind of up to date on it. If not for them, would you have ever heard of Periscope?
Yeah, I had Periscope before it came on recruiting.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Last thing I've heard of was what's that? Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yeah. But I don't really.
Snapchat I did get into because of the high school kids.
Yeah.
But now it's a huge platform.
Periscope is?
Yeah, but Snapchat is.
Snapchat, yeah. I think I'm probably the only one that doesn't use Snapchat, and I actually did have a Snapchat for a while, but the only people that were on there were like my army buddies, so they just send me pictures of the shits they took, and that was pretty much it. So I was like, I think I'm done with this. This is a done platform.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Shit chat is what yours was called.
Shit chat, yeah. Snap shit, something, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a horrible platform because you go through, oh, cool, this chick sent me a picture of her tits. Oh, good. I had 4 seconds to look at it, and now it's gone forever. Way to fucking go. Oh, I was gonna
But
screenshot it.
she still
but
sent you her boobies.
She did, and that's pretty
You
cool.
should be grateful.
But yeah. I mean, she didn't send them to me. Taylor would lose her mind.
Well, this is a hypothetical situation we're talking about here.
It is, yeah. But yeah, I would think that would suck. Oh, and if you want to take a snapshot of it, well, let's just tell her what you did.
You should tell her.
I guess. I mean, she sent it to me. Whatever I do with it is my business.
I had all kinds of grandiose plans to use for Snapchat, but then I realized I'm not that interesting.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. That would be like me getting one, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, you don't want to do that unless you want to watch Mike.
Just you playing on your phone.
Right. See what Mike's drinking. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway, everybody, I guess that's gonna do it for me.
Yeah, we dragged this out as long as we could.
No, this movie just sucks. You should.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I think that this is the most time anybody's ever put toward talking about this movie, honestly. So
we stopped talking about it 16 minutes into it. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for joining us. Make sure that you tune in next week as we delve into James Bond, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
I'll be back.